This is United Network News with Sunny Galt, Calen Gipp, Kimberly Gogan, and our field messengers from around the world. Here's today's real news.
In Florida, USA, 2 hurricanes have strained supply chains, disrupting delivery of supplies. UNN field messenger Diane reports on the challenges truckers face with refueling and maintaining deliveries.
Good morning. This is Diane, field messenger with United Network News, reporting from Polk County, Florida. And we're at a Love's gas station where a lot of the semi-trucks come in to gas up, take showers, take a rest before they get back on the road. As you can see, there's about 3 or 4 other tanker trucks here to keep the gas flowing. But we live right down the street, and we have never seen this many trucks for this many days stopped, waiting for fuel, stopping in to get showers. They are packed. We've been sitting in traffic right here in this little side street for at least 15, 20 minutes. So I'll get back to you as we move forward. Here we go. We're moving again. As you can see, it is packed, and they're parked all the way on each side of the street. And it's amazing that you don't think about this industry, of course, being affected by the hurricanes that have come through, but it has majorly trying to keep America going. This has been Diane, field messenger with United Network News. Thank you for watching.
In the competitive world of retail, choosing the right pricing strategy can make or break a company's success. One popular method is Keystone pricing, known for its simplicity. But what is Keystone pricing? How does it affect small businesses and the prices you pay as a consumer? Keystone pricing is a pricing strategy used by many large retailers, where the retail price of a product is set at twice its wholesale cost, which is usually twice the manufacturing cost. For instance, if a product costs $25 to make, the wholesale price would be $50, and the retail price would be $100 under this model. This translates to a 50% markup from the wholesale price, making it a straightforward approach for many retailers. Markup is the percentage a retailer adds to a product's wholesale price.
Let's talk about keystoning. Keystoning is 50% margins for the dealer. Essentially what they're doing is they're doubling the cost that they purchase the product for from you and selling it to the end consumer. This is a typical practice in quite a few different channels. Outdoor, sporting goods, drug, those are all main channels that Keystone product.
The simplicity of Keystone pricing is its biggest draw. Business owners like how easy it is to set consistent prices without complicated math or advanced e-commerce tools. This lets them focus on growing their business and serving customers, not stressing over pricing. Keystone pricing is also known for its flexibility. It provides some wiggle room between margins, allowing businesses to easily adjust prices if they find issues with their initial pricing. However, frequent adjustments are not recommended, as they can frustrate customers and damage trust. In 2023, the Harvard Business Review did a series of experiments to measure price shifts and how they impact people's decisions to make a purchase. To no surprise, when the price shifted higher, they thought it was a bad deal. And when the price shifted lower, they thought it was a good deal. However, results got more complicated when price shifts were viewed over a longer period. If consumers saw at least 3 changes in the same direction, they assumed the price would continue in that direction. But if they saw only 1 or 2 changes in the same direction, they expected the price to change in the opposite direction. Despite its benefits, Keystone pricing is not without its drawbacks. For consumers, it's all about perception. Finding out you're paying twice or more as the cost to make the product is sometimes a tough pill to swallow, and it could result in fewer sales and bad publicity.
Do you know what the term triple key means? It means they triple the price. In fact, in jewelry catalogs, you can read the codes. And Keystone means 2.5 times.
It can also be a bit challenging for smaller businesses hoping to sell their products wholesale to bigger stores. Suppose the bigger store automatically increases the price 50%. In that case, small businesses may not be able to compete since they're usually dealing with higher prices due to smaller quantities and paying more for shipping. Keystone pricing often overlooks competitor pricing, which can lead to products being priced too high. In competitive fields like retail grocery or cell phone sales, where markups are usually lower, this strategy might not work. Industries like luxury goods, where higher markups are common due to demand or rarity, Keystone pricing might lead to lost profits. These industries might do better with premium pricing strategies. So, is Keystone pricing the best choice for small businesses? It really depends on your brand.
So, you're starting a clothing brand, but how much should your items cost? When it comes to pricing clothes, there are plenty of factors and pricing strategies you can consider. One way to calculate prices by using something called Keystone pricing. Let me explain. Say it costs you $2 for a blank tee, $2 for screen printing, 50 cents for a neck print or tag, and another 50 cents for bags. Altogether, that would put your cost at $5. Once you have this number, you want to multiply that by 2, giving you $10. That's your wholesale price. That's more for if you're selling in bulk to other stores. But for the Keystone price, you want to multiply the wholesale price again by 2, giving you $20. That's your retail price, the price your customers are going to see. Now, Keystone pricing can result in very high profit margins. That's just how much you make on a sale. So it's important to know where your brand is and if you should be using that high of a markup. If you're just starting out, it might be better to go with a lower margin so your clothes are more affordable, but not too low or people might look at it as trash. Remember, these are just the basics. And there are other pricing strategies out there like cost plus pricing or competitive pricing, which are common for starter brands.
Let's explore some of these other pricing strategies. First, there's value-based pricing. This approach sets the retail price based on how much customers value the product, not on its wholesale cost. It's particularly successful in the luxury market, where buyers pay more for perceived value. However, for everyday household items, this strategy may not be ideal. Next, we have cost plus pricing, which is similar to Keystone pricing. In Cost Plus, retailers calculate fixed and variable costs before adding a markup to the wholesale price. While this ensures a profit, it doesn't offer significant advantages over the adaptable Keystone method. Lastly, let's consider prestige pricing. This strategy, like value-based pricing, focuses on brand quality rather than wholesale costs. It's suited for businesses selling products where the retail price doesn't heavily influence buying decisions. Retailers looking to introduce products to larger chain stores should carefully evaluate their pricing strategies. It's important to determine if Keystone pricing aligns with their overall goals, especially when selling both in-store and online. Conflicts may arise if online prices differ significantly from those in physical stores, potentially leading to competition between the two channels. Retailers generally aim to avoid this by establishing non-competitive pricing strategies.
So Keystone pricing really means that they're going to double what your cost is in order to put it in stores, MSRP, and so forth. And so ultimately, a lot of retailers like that. So if a buyer is asking you about Keystone pricing, that's really what it means. The tricky part is, can you afford that? Will that mess up your other businesses? A lot of you are selling products online. And so if they do change the pricing, are you now competing with your online product? Or worst case scenario, is the retailer going to have to compete with your pricing that's now online already? Because you might have to change your online pricing so that at least it's equivalent to retail. The reason I mention that is that retailers don't want to compete with your website. They don't want to compete with other people with pricing. And so if you agree to Keystone pricing and everything works out perfectly, just make sure that what you're doing with your own site and your own stuff makes sense, right? Sometimes you have this product that's doing so well online, but then you start working with retailers and they need to price them somewhere else so they can make some money off the product. And it just isn't matching up. So as a business decision, you have to choose whether or not you can handle that.
The underlying challenge for businesses is to determine if Keystone pricing fits within their financial model and enhances their profitability. While it can present opportunities for structured pricing, it may not suit every product or business model. We asked our field messengers for their thoughts on Keystone pricing, and here's what they said.
Hello, this is Jemima, UNN Field Messenger from Melbourne, Australia. I have a little retail store and a clinic. It's all about health and wellness, and I make a lot of my own products. I agonized about pricing for a really long time, and it is quite a difficult one to get your head around. I make tonics, Chinese herbal medicine tonics, and essential oil sprays. All of the essential oil spray combinations were given to me, or I received them. They're co-creation, so I felt it was best to keep my pricing really reasonable and affordable so that everybody could afford it. So I'm probably in the middle to the bottom range of the market. That's why I've kept my labeling really, really simple, so people aren't paying for extra labeling. It does turn some people off initially. However, once they've tried the product, they usually fall in love with it, and then they buy, and then they keep coming back for more. So that's my bit. Have a great day.
G'day, Steve M. here. Today's subject, goods and services. I've always sold stuff for a lot less than what it was worth, or given it away to people I felt that needed it. My adage is, rainy day people don't hide love inside, they just pass it on. Have a great day.
While Keystone pricing may be appealing initially, there are multiple pricing strategies out there. Each has its own strengths depending on the market and products. If you're currently selling products and services or plan to in the near future, be sure to assess your goals and customer base to find the best fit.
The Feed Iowa First project is designed to support immigrant farmers in gaining essential farming skills through practical hands-on experience. UNN Field Messenger Kim highlights its impact and success.
Hi, Kim Hayes, Field Messenger for UNN. Today I'm at a field day for the Feed Iowa First Equitable Land Access Program. These farmers growing crops here on the 11-acre pilot plot were all farmers in their native lands. After immigrating to the USA, they would like to continue being farmers. The program connects landless farmers with land, seeds, irrigation, and farming equipment. The farmers are allowed to feed their families from their fields, and the balance of the produce goes to the Feed Iowa First food banks and van delivery drop-off points.
We take our vegetable van out to different low-income housing units and retail establishments, and we serve farmers market style to anyone in need, anyone who's needs vegetables. And so we really focus on culturally relevant foods. So again, that just means that we're focusing on specific foods that are relevant to certain cultures and that are significant with the cuisine or diet of those folks.
This is my farm, and I have okra here. I have carrot here. I have pepper. I have watermelon. That is my watermelon here. I have tomatoes. I have sweet corn too, you can see them. Yeah. Yeah, I already harvest the cabbage.
Okay, so here's some more fields that are planted here. Another greenhouse. So the Nigerian farmers that are farming here in Iowa for Feed Iowa First, are growing crops that are native to their land. This is okra, and we'll go in for a little bit of a closer picture of the okra growing. We're in the greenhouse. We've got sweet potatoes. And then we've got chilies. I see there's chilies here growing. Ooh, here's some chilies. Ooh, these look hot. Here's some Scotch bonnet. Again, there's the end of some tomatoes over there. They have the bees to help pollinate. And as you can see, the program prints helpful literature in all their native languages. A produce cooler is the next step here to keep all the vegetables fresh till they can be distributed. These farmers produced 1,000 pounds of hot chili peppers, and they were all gone in 3 days. The demand was so high. It's a 3-year program, which then helps these farmers find 1 to 5 acre parcels to lease and start their own business. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed watching. Kim Hayes, Field Messenger, UNN.
In eastern Uganda, the cultivation of sugarcane is an important source of income for many families. UNN Field Messenger Nabir Annette tells us about the harvesting process of this sweet crop.
Hello everyone, my name is Nabir Annette, UNN News, Eastern Uganda. Today I'm showing the world on how we cultivate sugarcane in Soga region. We do use manpower to plant and harvest sugarcane. The plantations are worked upon by children, women, and men. These people cut, wrap it up with cane leaves, and gather in bundles. Each small bundles contain 12 to 15 sugar canes, and it costs 100 Ugandan shillings. Each person has to make 37 bundles to earn $1. This plantation is worked upon by more youths, as it is school time to make ends meet and raise school fees, together with scholastic materials like books, pens, rims, among others. It also has women, mostly single mothers, who earn a living at their homes. It being a swampy and molded farm, the trucks cannot enter the plantation. Men carry the canes to the assigned location where vehicles have accessibility and load it. Transport it to the main factory for processing. Thank you.
At the local farmers market in Bitterroot Valley, Montana, visitors are treated to a vibrant display of locally crafted products and unique finds. UNN Field Messenger Adaria interviews Jungle Joe, a local beekeeper and artist.
Hi everybody, this is Adaria coming to you from the Bitterroot Valley of Montana, USA. Today we'll be talking to Jungle Joe.
Hi, I'm Jungle Joe from Scalcoho. As you can see, I'm a beekeeper that does a lot of different profiles from honey around the valley. We also specialize in heirloom garlics from around the world: Siberia, Russia, North Korea, South Korea, Transylvania, Romania, all kinds of places around the world. Very spicy garlic, mild garlic, hot garlic, creamy garlic. We also, from being a beekeeper, I grow thousands and thousands of dahlias for all the wild bees, butterflies, hummingbirds, my honeybees. The leftover wax, we make very intricate candles for adults and children. A lot of people refuse to burn them. We do have a few rare crystals sitting around on the table, like green amethyst, some pain greens, and many other pieces of all true gemstone jewelry.
And you make all this?
I cannot take credit for making them. I must give the earth millions of years of developing the gemstones. Now, assembling them, I can say I assemble them, but I cannot take credit for Mother Nature's work on all these beautiful gemstones.
Can you tell us a little bit about your sidearm? That's a big one.
I've been carrying 44 mags since I was 18 years old. This is one of my newer ones. I have matching pairs from the 80s that I always wear. I live around lots of bears, mountain lion, and I do raise wolves, Karelian bear dogs, and hybrid husky wolves.
Wow.
So we have a lot of predators, and we do have to chase bears off our honey all the time.
You sure do.
So I've been carrying since I was 18 years old.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Joe. This is Adaria reporting to you from the Bitterroot Valley of Hamilton, Montana, the farmers market. Thank you for watching, and have a blessed day.
Marriage in the Philippines is all about cultural traditions and social norms, with elaborate ceremonies and strong community ties. However, when it comes to divorce, the country has a whole different story to tell. The Philippines remain one of the few places in the world, alongside Vatican City, that has not legalized divorce yet. This is largely attributed to the country's strong Catholic influence, which upholds the sanctity and permanence of marriage. Around the world, activists are pushing for marriage equality, but in the Philippines, the hot topic is separation equality, whether divorce should be allowed, and how it should work. Current options for Filipino couples looking to end their marriage are limited to legal separation or annulment. But here's the problem. Legal separation doesn't allow them to remarry. An annulment can be a long, costly process requiring proof that the marriage was never valid in the first place.
Legal separation allows you to live separate lives and divide your assets. There are more grounds to file for legal separation compared to an annulment. The problem with legal separation is that although it allows you to live separate lives, legally you're still married. You can't marry somebody else after legal separation. An annulment, on the other hand, allows you to completely break away from the marriage. If you are annulled, your marriage is completely dissolved and you can marry someone else. Problem with annulments, however, is that the process is long, costly, and arduous. There are also not a lot of grounds for annulment. For example, abuse is not one of them. What is allowed, though, among other things, is infertility and mental illness, which I don't know about you, but seems a little bit ableist to me.
Things might change as a divorce bill, known as the Absolute Divorce Act, passed Congress by a slim margin in May and is now waiting for Senate approval. The efforts to introduce divorce legislation have sparked national debates, touching on religious freedom, women's safety, and family welfare. Back in 2018, a similar bill didn't pass. Despite conflicting views, the push for divorce in the Philippines continues to gain support.
But we have to remember that whatever reason two people decide to get a divorce, it is none of our business. I mean, sure, there could be people who get married and then 55 hours later get a divorce if they have the money. Because remember, a legal process like divorce, like any other legal process, will require money. But I want us to take our focus off of these people who would possibly use it for shallow reasons. And remember that there are so many people out there stuck in dangerous situations that are bound to them by marriage. There are people married to serial cheaters or gambling addicts. There are people stuck in financially, physically, psychologically, verbally abusive marriages that they cannot escape. And their needs take precedence over all the other people who would break up for more shallow reasons.
One of the main arguments for legalizing divorce in the Philippines is to protect individuals, particularly women, from abusive marriages. Many cases of domestic violence and abuse go unreported due to the lack of a viable option for leaving a marriage. Annulment can be a lengthy and expensive process, making it inaccessible for many Filipinos, especially those from lower socioeconomic backgrounds. This leaves victims of abuse trapped in their marriages with little legal choices. The new divorce bill seeks to address this by capping legal fees at 50,000 pesos or $886, and simplifying procedures, making divorce a more accessible alternative for financially strained individuals.
In the Philippines, costly and lengthy annulment processes are pushing calls for legalizing divorce. Who knew? Currently, annulments are the only option to dissolve a marriage, often taking years and costing up to 500,000 pesos. The proposed absolute divorce bill, now in the Senate, would make divorce more accessible with a proposed cost cap of 50,000 pesos, about 10%.
Aside from protecting individuals, advocates also stress the need for divorce laws to provide a legal framework for remarriage. Under the current system, separated individuals are still considered legally married and unable to remarry in the Philippines. This can have significant implications on their personal lives, such as being unable to start a new family or facing discrimination in employment and other aspects of their social lives. By legalizing divorce, individuals have the opportunity to move on from failed marriages and form new relationships without concern of legal implications. On the other hand, opponents of divorce argue it goes against traditional family values and could potentially weaken the institution of marriage. They believe allowing divorce could lead to more broken families and negatively affect children from divorced households. Some also think introducing divorce laws could undermine the country's strong Catholic influence and open the door for other controversial social issues.
Sa tingin mo ba yung mag-asawa dapat kumuha ng divorce? Para sa akin, hindi. Mas maganda na galangin mo at respetuhin mo kung ano yung decision mo nung kinasal pa lang kayo.
Against po ako sa divorce bill kasi Philippines being a Catholic country, hindi pa ready sa divorce bill.
I am pro with divorce bill, but I still have my own reservation. Kung makakabuti ba talaga to for their families or magiging tool siya for destruction of family.
Pero kung hindi naman na kayo nagkakasundo, bakit yung pipilitin magsama na kung mag-aaway lang din naman kayo araw-araw, oras-oras eh. Maraming mga matatandang kaisipan na ayaw talaga dun sa divorce. Kinasal ka, kailangan habang buhay. Eh di naman sa panahon ngayon, wala naman ng forever talaga nangyayari.
The Absolute Divorce Act suggests a few clear reasons for divorce, like irreconcilable differences, while keeping the same grounds for annulment and legal separation, such as abandonment and infidelity. It doesn't permit no-fault divorce and requires a 60-day cooling-off period unless there's a safety threat.
House Bill 9349 aims to provide absolute divorce as a legal remedy for marriages that are beyond repair. This is a significant step towards reducing the emotional strain on children and allowing divorced individuals the chance to remarry. The bill includes detailed guidelines for divorce petitions, covering everything from the grounds and procedures to the effects on custody, property division, and support. It also promotes reconciliation methods and includes fines and community-based initiatives, all supervised by the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or the DSWD. However, remember, this is just a bill, not a law yet. In the Philippines, for a bill to become a law, it must be approved by both the House of Representatives and the Senate and the President. This is a big development in Philippine law, and it could bring a lot of changes for those in challenging marriages.
If the bill passes, it would permit self-representation in certain cases, significantly reducing expensive lawyer fees and speeding up decisions, greatly benefiting people trapped in financially and emotionally challenging situations. Experts suggest legalizing divorce could boost the country's economy by increasing demand for housing and household goods. Yet challenges remain, particularly for women who depend financially on their spouses. Many Filipino women are not in the workforce, and with rising poverty rates, achieving financial independence seems tough. For many Filipinos, the hope lies in the proposed divorce bill. It offers a chance to reshape lives by providing an alternative to annulment and giving them the freedom to choose their paths. In the age of smartphones and digital cameras, capturing moments has never been easier. However, with the convenience of snapping hundreds or thousands of photos comes the challenge of managing them all. If your digital photo library is a cluttered mess, You're not alone. Organizing your photos can feel overwhelming, but with the right strategy, you can bring order to the chaos and make it easier to find, enjoy, and share your memories. All right, so Rachel is joining us today. And Rachel, this is incredible. So we were talking before we started recording. First of all, I love your hairdo. It's very similar to mine. Yes. And we found out that we literally live right down the street from one another. So the synchronicity is off the charts today. I know we're going to have a great conversation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, it's kismet for sure. This is our meet cute. And
exactly. All right. Well, I'm excited to talk to you today, Rachel, because we all have these little guys, right? And we're all out and about taking photos, going about our day, recording life in various ways. And then inevitably I get to, scrolling on my phone. It says like, I'm out of storage. I'm like, I'm out of storage because I have all these amazing photos and videos on my phone and no way to view them other than just scrolling through this. So I wanted to talk to you because there's got to be a better way, because like I said, we've got this incredible way of capturing these moments, but we struggle a little bit with being able to reflect on those moments and store those moments. And, I've gotten into positions where I've lost a lot of content because I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah. So help us, Rachel. How do we preserve our digital photos?
I am here. I think it was last year, the most recent statistics said that we collectively took over 1.7 trillion digital photos last year. I mean, it's an astronomical amount. We're all carrying a camera and a computer around in our pockets.
Yeah.
It's not like when, I was younger and somebody had to actually bring a camera and make sure you had the film and was the flash working. It was a whole experience. So now we take photos of everything, right? And so it's the sheer volume that you have on your phone. The first step is taking inventory of what you have. Look around your house, create a bin or a box and start putting things in there as you find them. You go to the junk drawer and you notice there's a memory card or you find a couple CDs. Start getting that together and create a list of where those online photos might be. Okay. And then once you know where everything is, the next step is consolidating. It's the idea that when we want to evaluate anything, let's say you were cleaning out your closet or your junk drawer, you take everything out, right? We're not going to clean one drawer at a time, or I'm just going to do t-shirts. We take everything out and look at it. It's the same with photos. Yeah. So you're going to take everything and transfer it to a new drive. So you have everything together. Okay. So the idea is whether you hire somebody like our company that provides digital and print organizing support and consolidation, or you purchase the equipment yourself, you want to transfer all those items online on devices into one location. Okay. So that's the consolidating. That's making sure you have it in one place and you can back that up. If you do nothing else, that's a great first step because at least you know everything is in one place and protected. Now, the next step is now we have to do the cleanup, and that involves a little more, it's going to take a little more time, and it depends on your level of interest in doing the project. Do you have the time to do it? Do you have the technical know-how and the equipment? So we got to get rid of duplicates. All the time, right? Your husband maybe sends you a photo and you already had that photo, or you're sharing things and you've got, or the photos that, what I like to say, don't tell your story. You took a screenshot of a boarding pass, or you're in the store and you take a picture of a fabric because you say, oh, I'd love this for curtains. Right. Or the field trip, piece of paper for your kids at school. I mean, does any of this sound familiar? I imagine.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Or when you're trying to take pictures of your kids, I call it spray and pray. Like, okay, I'm going to take like a bunch and one of them is bound to show up okay.
Right. Right. I mean, and what's wonderful is this technology has afforded us the opportunity to take 1,000 photos because we want to get the right one, but we don't ever go back to find that right one and enjoy it. And so instead, when you're scrolling through all of these photos, it just feels overwhelming and kind of stressful.
Right.
The next one is let's organize them in a way that makes sense. And the only way for the most part that makes sense is to organize them chronologically, right? Yeah. I mean, that's how you're living your life. So you've got this wonderful collection of photos that are organized chronologically, but in order to find them easily, you assign facial recognition and keywords. So I have 2 kids, Isaiah and Darian, and I can type one or both of their names, and I can get every photo that their face is in just by typing their name. Once you've assigned those keywords and things that make sense to you, maybe your kids do 4-H, or they play volleyball, or they're in drama, things that are relevant to you, what are you going to look for? What do you need to search for? And then there's a number of places that you can store your photos. I know a lot of people, most of us have iPhones. Many of us have iPhones. And so a lot of people like to store their photos on Apple Photos. I think that can work if you have a strategy. Typically, I like to store photos off of Apple Photos because it's not considered a true storage. In other words, it's there for syncability, right? So your laptop and your iPad and your computer, everything can talk to each other. But it's not necessarily the best storage. And unfortunately, we have had some clients who have had their Apple ID hacked and they've lost all their photos. I've had 2 clients that had to go to the FBI and try and get their photos back. I mean, the FBI to get their photos on their phone. So having multiple backups is a big deal. Now, there are photo apps out there that are free or subscription based, that are designed specifically for your home photos. So one that I really like is called SmugMug. I always say it's a terrible name, but a great site. Not a terrible name, but it's just, it doesn't roll off the tongue as nicely as some others.
Yeah.
But it is a site that is dedicated specifically to your photos. It gives you the opportunity to share and view your photos. So I can get on my phone right now. And because I've got all my photos organized, both print and digital, I can show you photos of my childhood and show you that I truly am a redhead, even if I get a little help these days.
And those different apps, there's fees associated with them, right?
So it's, yes. And I always say it's a get what you pay for, right? Okay. So whenever we pay for anything or whenever we connect with any app, there's always some kind of a fee, whether it's monetary or you're paying in another way. So for example, Google Photos, I don't typically recommend because there's some rights issues that make me a little uncomfortable to put my family's personal photos up there. So they do have a free Photos app, right? Google Photos that you can use, but what are you paying for? You're paying with your privacy. There's a reason you can Google things. Yep. So I would feel more comfortable with my family photos knowing they're in a secure cloud-based program that is encrypted and password protected and doesn't have ads. It's one of the reasons that I do recommend SmugMug because it's created by photographers for photographers or people who enjoy their photos. And there are no ads and it's totally encrypted. There's some other ones. Mylio, MYLIO is a great one, and it allows you to consolidate from social media, from different drives. It helps you with facial recognition. So there are a number of apps out there, but it is important to either work with an expert or do your due diligence, especially in this day and age, with all the security and privacy issues.
This has been so helpful. Thank you so much. This has been eye-opening. I'm like writing a mental to-do list of all the things that I need to do now with my phone, with my photos, but very helpful. Thank you so much, Rachel.
You're welcome, Sunny, and best of luck. Keep me updated.
Thank you. Organizing your digital photos can be a daunting task, but with the right approach, it's completely manageable. By gathering your photos, using consistent naming conventions, leveraging photo management tools, and staying on top of those backups, you can create an organized photo library that's easy to navigate and enjoyable to look through. So start today. And if you need some help, reach out to Rachel at 2000paces.com.
Are you ready to change the world? Take the next step and join our weekly Field Messenger meetings. Learn more at unitednetwork.earth. I am United Network News, and so are you.